tithombe letingaveta bungcuno. Uma letithombe anato utsenga kwekutsi ngimbhadala imali letsite kuze letithombe angatisabalalisi.
No, it's cyberbullying but with extortion.
Akunamuntu lonelungelo lokwesabisa umuntu lomunye ngalenye into kuze yena azuze lokutsite.
Sawubona mbukeli, welcome to this week's installment of Uhlelo Oluthanda Kakhulu Yilungelo Lakho, dealing with your rights as consumers live here kumamba phambili SABC 1 eMzansi for sure. Mina kuyangazi mbukeli ngiyakwajali intokazi uAlisha uNhlanhla phansi amanzi imtoti kwelika banana eThekwini. Mbukeli uyazi ke I always ensure ukuthi phela nawe ube yingxenye yohlelo. That's why you can contact us live here in studio on 011-714-6918, alternatively 714-6919. Email address yethu sathi consumer@sabc.co.za. We're also available ku Facebook nalapha ku SMS line. Okwamanje mbukeli asibhekane ngqo nendaba yethu namhlanje. Bukeli njengoba ubonile mesiqala uhlelo ubaba uPatrick waseSprings eGoli wathola i-email umbhali wayo wayemsongela ethi phela unezithombe zakhe ebukele lento ekuthiwa ipornography wathi lezi ithombe uzosabalalisa ku social media uma phela ubaba uPatrick engakhokhi imali efika kuma 15,000 wamarandi. Kwenzeka lokhu nje ubaba uAzwi wala ePitoli naye phela usongelwa ngokuthi uma nje engakhokhi u2.5,000 wamarandi izithombe zakhe ezimveza izitho zangasese bazozisabalalisa kumphakathi. Lolu hlobo ke mbukeli lobugebengu ke lubizwa ngokuthi i-sextortion. Uzinhle Mugabe wenze naluphando.
Siphila ku Global Village lapho sikwati ukuxhumana khona nebantu abasetindzaweni letehlukene emhlabeni jikelele. Ku social media uyakhona kwenta bungani nebantu longabati noma bakhashane kangakanani. Kepha wenda njani ke uma ngabe umngani wakho wa social media akuvukele siswini njengejwala? Babe Azwi wasePitoli ukwati kahle lokhu.
The person sent me a Facebook request and I accepted, and then sent me an inbox to say angitshela ukuthi hi ungathi wangibulisa nje. Then the last message was babes uthi ngifuna ukuthi ngithengele phone. Then la ngasnap ngathi no, how can I buy a phone a person I don't know? Thumela picture yami manje yakudala 2013 ayenza pic mix ne picture ngigqoke uniform athi ne erogenous zone, two erogenous zone ama penis on both sides athi ungazwa kanjani if abantu ba your relatives your PA babona lento i-pic mix lengiyenzile ngilapha ngathi njani athi hayi ngayifaka ku media ku all the social media wagcwala indawo yonke ne-uniform yakho and everything. Ngathi njani for what good reason? Athi ngifuna ukuthi ungifakele imali i-2.5 within an hour. Athi ngifake ku cell phone. Lento ayathatha even a week. Maka angithumele i-friend request before angiblackmaila ngale mali ayifunayo. It was a feeling of despair, embarrassment, and a feeling of anticipation how people are going to react.
Asamangele babe Azwi ukuthi yinto lekade ayithini le. eSprings edvoteni naseJozi babe Patrick uthunyelwa inhloko nge-email lekayitfole ku computer yasemsebentini.
I installed a malware on the adult porn website, and guess what? You visited this website to have fun, you know what I mean? While you were watching this porn, your web browser started functioning as an RDP keylogger, which gave me access to your display screen and camera. Right after that, my software collected all your contacts from your Facebook account, Messenger, and email account. Then I created a double screen video. The first part shows the video you were watching. You have a nice taste, lol. And the second part shows the recording of your camera. It is you. Ubhalile-ke ukuthi une information yami unetithombe letingaveta bungcuno. Ubhalile la kubhala ukuthi lelihlazo lelingaba khona, the embarrassment, and all that. You have two options. First option is to ignore this email. In this case, I will send the recorded video clip of yours to all your contacts, and just imagine the humiliation you'll feel from this. Don't forget that this can also affect your relationship as well. To avoid that, angimthumele imali lengange$1,000, ngithumele as a Bitcoin, and then yena utawukhohlwa nokukhohlwa ukuthi sike sahlangana nangenda njalo. Thinking to go to the police, good luck. I have taken every step to make sure that this email cannot be traced back to me. You have 48 hours to pay me. I have a special Facebook pixel in this email. And at this moment, I know that you have read this email. If you want proof, reply to this email, and I will send you the video. I'll send your video to 4 of your contacts. I-reaction yami initially vele ngaba nako lokhu kuthiwa ukuthi lo muntu ukhuluma ngani. However, nangithi cabanga kwekuthi ngihambe kuphi ngendani angikhumbuli ngithatha tithombe letingaba nebungcuno lebungathi nabusabalele bube lihlazo kafishane. However, ke ngase ngiyacabanga nalokuthi letinto leti bayadenda bangakungcunula nje bakwende noma yini.
Ayike mbukeli uyizwele nawe leyo ke ndaba sizoyibamba lapho kwamanje, sizobuya siqhubeke na emva kwesikhathi. But to help us get into the bottom of the scam, let us extend a very warm welcome to Mr. Mike Bolhayes. Now, he's a specialist investigator into serious violent as well as serious economic crimes at the South African Safety and Security Agency, besimemileke nayo i-South African Police Service. Kodwa bathe, and I quote, mbukeli, the Division Detective Service has declined your invitation to participate kule interview, close quote. Mr. Bolhayes, thank you so much, sir. It seems like you're the only one who was brave enough to come to the show today. Thank you so much for pitching up. Tell us a bit about the South African Safety and Security Agency. What is the gist of your work there?
Well, we've been in this for about 35 years. But the last 20 years, we've been dealing with serious violent and serious economic crimes. Mm-hmm. Obviously, that includes cybercrime. So we are known as the go-to guys. When all else fails, people come to us. All right. And you're not at all a government entity, Mike? No. And we won't be, because we are totally neutral. So if there's cases
if you need
against,
to look into government,
you can deal with anybody anywhere in South Africa, no matter what his position is. All right. Now, Mike, we've seen 2 different cases there, 2 different inserts. Well, 1 insert, but 2 different cases. In the first one, we saw Mr. Azwi there. He got a friend request on Facebook, and then he responded, befriended this person. The following week, this person that asked him for a friend request was already asking him to buy him a phone. When that didn't happen, he says he was sent a picture of himself, seemingly looking like he was in compromising positions, and this person was now threatening to expose them to the whole of society and social media and to their bosses and so forth. Let's start with that case in particular. What do you think happened there? Are these the types of crimes or cases that you deal with at the SSA? Yes, let me start a bit from the beginning. Sextortion, extortion has always been there. I mean, from the beginning of the world, in my opinion. But since the 1960s, there was cases reported where boyfriends or husbands would have naked pictures and start threatening those that they had relationships with.
Disgruntled lovers.
Yeah, this eventually escalated to, in the last 10 years, where it's become what I call sextortion, and especially in the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. I must at this point note that, or state that I have seen more private parts in the last 2 years than any gynecologist or urologist.
My goodness.
Because when we do get a case, we need all the facts, and then we have to deal with it. So it is totally out of control. There is hundreds of thousands of people in South Africa and around the world that are being extorted and sextorted. Now, there's the difference. Extortion is where there's no sextortion involved.
So they don't have your pictures or images or anything derogatory that they can,
That's it. Well, I would say anything that's got to do with the sexual nature, like naked photos, or as this gentleman has said, where he was either videoed or he visited porn sites.
Yes, he was watching a porn
and he was doing
site.
something in front of his laptop. People, unfortunately, are lonely today, and when they get requests, they easily open their arms and take in everybody. So my first warning is people should veer away from platforms as quickly and as seriously as possible in future. They should be very careful who they invite or who do they communicate with. And this is the new DNA. If I have this or a drop of blood of a person, I have everything. People keep everything on this phone, on your phone, everything, from bank passwords till the girlfriend or secrets or anything pertaining your financial or your private or love life or whatever. Even photos of all the kids, your cars, your security system. If you lose this and it is in the wrong hands, and remember, all criminals, all syndicates, there's not one that does not operate and totally rely on the cell phone and the platforms.
Mike, I mean, we saw in the insert as well, in Patrick's case, I mean, you were saying that his account was hacked or so forth, but these people were actually requesting the amount in dollars. So this means it's an international ring or syndicate that you're talking about. It doesn't necessarily have to be people that are sitting here in South Africa. So it's quite wide-ranging.
What has happened is that crime begets crime. If the criminals in South Africa see that an international crime is flourishing, which is sextortion. You get the individuals, they mimic it. So in the last 2 years, I've handled more than 2,000 sextortion cases. And remember, I get about 30 to 50 calls a week, of which most don't return.
Let's talk about the cases that you get, Mike. I mean, like some of the most common types, like we saw 2 different types in the insert, but what kind of modus operandi are these syndicates then using?
The most common type, and I always say to people when something sounds too good to be true, it usually is. You get a photo, it's usually WhatsApp, of this most beautiful, well-built woman. She's there, beautiful. Got the blonde hair, so nicely built. And she starts with a hi. And it's usually men that are scammed, 99% of them. And then he would think to himself, what the heck, nobody sees it. I've heard that WhatsApp cannot be traced or tracked. Could it be hacked? And they get involved, and he highs back. And then what would be the reason you're calling me? Oh, I was just, I've heard of you. But unfortunately, men don't think further than their noses. And I want to warn the men out there to be very careful. And then very quickly, she entices him to show something after she has shown something. All those WhatsApp photos, he's not dealing with a girl, is usually the West African syndicates.
Oh my God.
It is the visitors, it is the best scammers are up in Africa, and they target countries like ours, which has the money, and obviously that is ignorant. So they steal the most beautiful Croatian or Yugoslavian or Russian girls, and they use identity theft. Remember, sextortion is absolutely and totally a lie. It's not that person.
You know what, let's hold that thought, Mike, because that's what I really want to get into, that the fact that, some of those pictures are doctored, and therefore, umuntu uzothola ukuthi uzothi wena lo vele ithombeni ungaqokile. Ubuzazi na ukuthi awukazi uthatha ithombe mufana nami unqondo. So, Mbukeli, let's quickly take another ad break. We're going to come back. This is a very important issue. We want to hear what some of your experiences has been. Do call us 011-714-6918 or 714-6919. Yilungelo Lakho ne Sextortion. Liyabuya shortly after this. Bukeli, welcome back. If you just joined us, namhlanje sikhuluma ngendaba enkulu ekuthiwa i-sextortion, lapho uzothola umuntu ongamazi ekusendela i-SMS or i-WhatsApp or i-email athi wena ubona i-pornography, uzokhipha iy'thombe zakhe ayise kubaphathi bakhe emsebenzini or your colleagues or ifamily yakho or your wife, or uthole wena ungenqunu, uthatha iy'thombe ungenqunu. Kodwa-ke ake siphinde size ukuthi ubaba uAzwi nobaba uPatrick bahamba befikaphi nendaba yabo, because bese sinilethele udaba labo in the first half of this show. Let's quickly listen in.
Emva kwekuthola lesithombe nemilayeto lemsongelako, babe Azwi wahlaba inyanza leyo ku Facebook, exwayisa abangani bakhe ukuthi kungase kube nento lenje. Hlanhla leyo unemngani lo private investigator. Wamcela ukuthi angenelele.
Then umngani wami ahamba investigator a trace ama phone abuya kimi athi no the account is a fake. Athi in fact this is not a lady, it's a man. It's a scheme basiyenzayo ama internet cafe. That's how far he went, but athi ngizamo tracer ama phone ukuthi ngathola njani, but athi no, it's around Pretoria. Ang advise ukuthi ngiye amaphoyiseni ngiyo report a case because it's what we call cyberbullying. Hence mina ngiyibiza extortion. Athi no, it's cyberbullying but with extortion. Amaphoyisa bangihleka bathi how akumnandi kanti wena. Ngithi lento angifuni because ngine family athi hayi thina sina isection yawenza lento yawenza yawutracer lo muntu wena alinda lo muntu avese izondlula.
eSprings babe Patrick naye utama kutfola sombululo.
Nga reporter go IT department yale ngambani lengisebenza kiyo. So the IT manager took immediate action. Nami ke ngase ngichinja ema password wami and stuff. Kwekuthi ngi-access ma social media. IT manager wazama ka-identifya kwekuthi kungabe i-source ingaba kuphi, obviously wahluleka.
Njengababe Azwi nababe Patrick wahlaba inyanza leyo ku Facebook exwayisa abangani bakhe ngalo muntu lomsongelako.
Kunemntwana wemnakethu lomkhulu. Lo mntwana usebenza emaphoyiseni. Naye wayipick up lento because she's my Facebook friend as well. So nangi announce kwekuthi ngihackiwe kunento lenje kune demand letsida. Wayipick up asase siyakhuluma ke offline. Wasuyayithatha ke naye and wavela ne conclusion letsi kona vele bakhona lebakwendako lokho and labanye abantu vele bayakhokha. Noma ngabe tithombe angaba nato lati doctorilo owendani bengeke ngende lutho bengeke ngimbhadale bekatawuthi sabalalisa vele lolo tatibuka letithombe ngihlaziseke. However lelo hlazo belitawundlula like everything else. Point being it is my standpoint in life kwekuthi akunamuntu lonelungelo lokwesabisa umuntu lomunye ngalenye into kuze yena azuze lokuthide. Uma ngabe kune situation la kuba khona umuntu wadimanda khona iransom, ungamnika umvulele umsele la ngekuvaleke. He always comes back for more.
Engabe babe Azwi yena waphetha ngekuthini?
If ngiyabhadala le mali, what will come after? Uzovesana kwaveza into yenye again yakuthi you pay 2.5, pay another 10,000, then ngizoyibhadala until when? Ngizoyibhadala until when? That's why I said I decided no, I'm not going to pay this person.
Babe Azwi wasiblocka lesigebengu ku Facebook. Lokho kwaba kugcina kwekuxhumana kwabo. Babe Patrick yena akayiphendulanga le email kanti umbhali wayo akalandzelelanga. Bathengi bayexwayisa ukuthi lo mkhuba sowuthanza kuba yimvama kanti lokhu lokwehlele babe Patrick nababe Azwi kungehlela noma ngubani. Zindle Dlamini Mugabe, Yilungelo Lakho.
Siyabonga kakhulu kwintokazi ngalolo phando. Mbukele hayi cha ngempela iyathusa ngempela ke lento, as you've heard yourself kubabu Azwi nobabu Patrick, normal citizens, abantu ababengagangi ngisho ugaga. And I think we are about to get into this. My guest today is a specialist investigator, Mr. Mark Bolhayes. Yena ke une South African Safety and Security Agency. Yena kodila ngalamacala la. Mbukeli nawe mangabe unendaba siyathanda ukuza udaba lakho 011714691 or 7146919. Pudlungelo kwamashu nsizwe ngakamukelo hlelweni umbuzo noma umbono. Pudlungelo usakhona. All right, ngiyayizwa. Pudlungelo. All right, I think we've lost uPudlungelo. Pudlungelo, we're certainly waiting with bated breath ukuthi sizwe nsizwe ukuthi wena sebekufuna imali kanjani mayelana nezithombe phela ezingekho mhlambe ekuthiwa wayishutha unqunu somewhere. Please do call us back 011714691 7146919. Mike, I mean, let's talk about this. I mean, we've established that the fact that most of these victims actually are innocent. They are not the people that are depicted on these images or these videos. And in the case of Patrick, he says he wasn't watching porn. That's why he wasn't even worried about this, because he knows that it could not have been him. But at the end of the day, these people are saying that, you know, they're going to put your whole life at risk, your work life, your professional life, your family life, and so forth. So it is quite something to look into.
Correction. Most of them are guilty.
Are they?
Maybe them not. But most of these people take photos of themselves, they drop the camera, they eventually exchange pictures, and they have of a sexual content of themselves given it to the extortionist.
Okay.
Most of them.
And then what about these doctored ones, Mike?
Let me explain that.
Yeah.
So what has now happened in the last 2 years as well is we have seen that where they get the information is, I'm not 100% sure, but they can get anybody and everybody's information.
Okay.
I'm talking about the syndicates now.
The syndicates, yeah.
And once they have somebody's information, they just need a bit of information to get further and more information, and then they can Photoshop it. In other words, as I've explained to you earlier on, I can take a photo of you with just your face. Then I have the equipment to put a body to it, completely naked, and add any and other all pictures, all persons, so that eventually it looks like a pornographic scene. Then I contact you and I say to you, see, this is how it works. If you don't pay, this is what happened. So once again, I'm going back to my initial warning. The future is internet, it is cybercrime, it is platforms, it is electronics, it's computers. Anything that's got to do with that is the future. And whatever we have created for good, the bad will use for evil. It's that. And that's why I say we must move all the more away from just taking selfies anyway. If you take a selfie there, then the whole SABC sign is behind you. Then he already knows where you work. You must be very careful. If you stand at your beautiful car, it's got the registration number. If you just take a video of you guys at the party or something like that, this sounds paranoid, but this is what unfortunately we're going to until the banks, our government, and the cell phone companies is going to say enough is enough. Now, let me tell you why I blame the cell phone companies and the banks.
Because they rake us.
The banks nowadays, they don't do proper vetting. They never have, in my opinion. It's like a money laundering institution today. The criminal opens a bank account, the money goes in, you want to track and trace it. You've heard that, gentlemen. Track and tracing of cell phone numbers has become literally impossible unless you have a grabber. So you're sitting in a situation, there's not proper vetting by the banks. You're sitting with cell phone companies that's just dishing out numbers, is not prepared to go further than the grey or the black stopping of phones. They should and they can fry a phone. In other words, if a criminal uses a phone and the information and the facts is there, you fry the phone and all the information disappears. But, you know, money at the end is what it's all about. And the banks do not want this information to be out, neither the cell phone companies. And until that is in place, where there's proper government control of all the platforms, I mean, me and you are doing the right thing. I have no problem. You can take my phone. You'll only see cases.
Yeah.
But that privacy that the criminals have is what they abuse, because the law protects the criminal today.
That's true.
The criminal can do anything, say anything, do anything he wants, and he can get away with it.
Mike, let's understand further the typical profile then of the sextortionist and who they target. We were talking earlier on when we started the show. I'm going to take Yilungelo, he's back on the line now. When we started the show, I wanted to understand, like, who are these target people? Is it illiterate people? Is it people in rural areas?
Everybody.
But as you had explained, it's everybody. Let me quickly take this call, Mike, and then we'll quickly get those views. Yilungelo, kwamasho nsizwa ngiyakwamukela back ohlelweni. Thank you so much for calling us back. Sicela ukubuza ukuthi bakwenzeni wena nsizwa.
Yebo siswami njani?
Ngiyaphila nsizwa kunjani?
Ngiyaphila. Ulungelo kwamasho.
Yebo baba, bakwenzeni?
Kunofishi la engahlangana nayo yabo. Engahlangana naye emsebenzini yabo.
Yebo.
So ngahlangana naye umsebenzi kwaTrustlet yabona.
Yebo.
Yes, so wangithembisa umsebenzi. If ngithembisa umsebenzi, she said to me I must pay the first 1,000 rand.
Okay.
I'll call 3,000. I paid about 2,000 for the first time.
Okay.
Then she wanted ukuthi mina naye sithandane, and I refused ukwenza lokho nganqaba ukuthi sithandane.
Oh.
Yes, nganqaba ukuthi sithandane. After that into ayenza wangitshela ukuthi angiseze ukuthola umsebenzi. You know, after that I've paid already 6,000.
Okay.
Yes, my friend and I have already paid 6,000. She said to me, I'm not going to get that job if we refuse to come and hotel. She wanted to book a hotel for us, you know. So I don't know how to deal with that, and I don't know how to get my money back. Now she's running away. She doesn't pick up my phone and everything.
But Lungelo, ongitshelwe nsizwa lo sisi nahlangana aphi naye wakusendela i-email or nahlangana nje ngokwenyama?
Yes, ngahlangana naye ngokumbona nje sisiwami kanjena because she was wearing uniform yasemsebenzini and I was desperate for a job by that time.
Yeah. So uthini manje like many tracker nike nazama yiphi imizamo ukuthi nizama ukumthola so that sizokwazi ukuthi thina siqala kuphi ukusizwa nsizwa?
Yes, I tried to track her using my phone, but I failed. You know, I went to the police station. I asked them for help, and they said to me, if I open the case, I'm also going to get arrested because I paid the money. But into engayazi kahle ukuthi because indlela ayesho ngayo kuthina wathi yena sizothola umsebenzi, and she was promising that we would go to Dubai.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah, for induction and everything. So I don't know how to deal with something like that, you know. And she's not the first person who's doing this, you know. I'm a victim of this thing.
And then put Lungelo le mali wayisenda kuphi ku-account number yakhe or mhlambe wathi umenzele mhlambe ilokhuzana i-wallet or kanjani?
I used to meet with her where she used to come by my work, you know. She used to come and I give her the money. She take imali hambe nayo emsebenzini. You know, athi sesizokhipha imali. But for the number office emsebenzini, you know. They used to phone us from where she works.
Okay.
And they tell us how is the process going. They were promising us that we will get uniforms and you know.
All right, but Lungelo ngicela uhlale nje kanjalo nsizwa ubukele kumabona kude wakho ubaba uMike I'm sure uzokhona ukuthi ukusiza. I don't know if wena mhlawumbe ubusuzamile ukuthi uye kule route yokuthi mhlawumbe uthole private investigator, but I think yakhe case ingconywana because it's somebody that you can identify. You've actually met this person in person. Bukeli, sextortion, also known as a crime of shame, can happen to anyone. Ngabe wena uke wazitholani ukule nkinga uthola ama SMS or ama email thiwa wena unqunu kuphi bathatha izithombe zakho ongazazi ngisho ukuzazi. If you are not the 80% uMike akade isho ukuthi bona ke cha hayi usukugangile ngempela ubhizi when we are send ama back and forth umuntu mase kunikeza ilokhuzana athi lethu 5,000 Alicia or else amabele akhe azobe all over ilokhuzana bazokuxosha ngisho emsebenzini. Bukeli, we're going to find out more and others when we come back from this break. Do stay with us. Hayibombukeli cha no ingathi inkulu impela indaba. Sextortion is what we're talking about namhlanje ke. We are taking your calls on 011-714-6918 or 714-6919. I'm sitting with specialist investigator Mr. Mark Bolhayes from the South African Security or Safety and Security Agency. Uyena kosichazelayo namhlanje ukuthi mbukeli mangabe uthola labantu abathi faka imali ukuze ithombe zakho singaziliki or njengoba sizwile ngolungelo ukuthi yena ke kwaqhamuka isiphalaphala sentokazi sathi yazini faka imali uzobona ngizokuyisa eDubai ngizokunikeza umsebenzi. So we're talking about these things. Mhlambe wena uhlukumeze kangakanani mbukeli sifonele ushayela ucingo usibhalele. I'll also be taking some of your Facebook messages. Now, Lungelo's story, Mike, I mean, let's talk about that. It wasn't necessarily sextortion, but it was extortion because he met this lady in person. It was two of them, him and another colleague. They ended up paying about 6,000 Rand. He started paying off 2,000 Rand. Apparently, with the promise that he's going to be employed, this woman worked apparently for a reputable company that I won't mention, and they were promised trips to Dubai or work in Dubai and so forth. But he ended up paying about 6,000 Rand. And when they started following up on these job interviews and job offers, it went dry. They can't trace her. They can't do anything. So he wants to know now, like, what can he do? And I'm thinking his case is pretty unique because he's actually met this person in person.
It's not unique. Let me shock you.
Please
I have
do.
an old lady. You're not going to expect this. I have an old lady as a client about 4 years ago, which this is extortion. What he has is extortion. That has paid 5.4 million to win 99,000 Rand on a Nokia price. Can you believe it? Can that just sink in with the public?
How do you...
You cannot, it's the mystery of iniquity. You cannot explain this. How could somebody pay 5.4, and it's an old lady, beautiful old lady. She has lost her pension. She's lost her house in Ballito Bay. She has lost her husband's pension. They have lost everything. It's an old lady. I have of that kind of investigations, hundreds, not in that bracket of money, but hundreds. It's called extortion. What the people do is they steal the identities of reputable companies. They look so legit. And
with the letterheads and everything,
there are so many scams. It falls actually under, this all obviously falls under the umbrella of cybercrime, but it all falls under the, what we call projects, knocks and scams. And once again, I must say, if something sounds to be good to be true, then it is. Secondly, don't get involved in anything unless you vet it. Go to somebody that's knowledgeable. Go to your bank manager. Ask your wife. Ask your best friend. And do not get involved. Even if you think you can lose it, then it's better you lose it. Because I have people that pays up to millions to get something of a smaller amount, which
value.
You just cannot
it doesn't make sense.
Explain. So what he has done is, and the third thing, well, let me tell you what plays usually a role. It's greed. It's greed that plays a role, very big role. Secondly, is illiteracy. If you are not trained to fix a car engine, don't try and fix it. Get somebody that can.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is platforms, mostly, and all these scams, knocks and scams, sextortion, extortion, catches those that are getting involved on the platforms because they don't know how to deal with it, they don't know how to check it out, and they are actually illiterate of how to work with this thing, which has become our DNA.
Would you say it's a certain demographic, though, Mike? Can you put these in numbers, in age groups, and differences, or it's just wide across the range? Whoever has access to the internet and unfortunately does not know how to put their phones or so forth in private or secure mode, then they can fall victim to these scams.
I have already blamed the banks and the cell phone companies. Now let me blame the police. The police, actually, when you walk in there and give your extortion or sextortion case,
says they laughed at him.
They will, because they are knowledgeable and they hear of these 100 times a month and they think you are stupid. The police, unfortunately, does not protect and serve anymore today. I would say
there no law
not
in
all
this
of
regard,
them. 20%
Mike,
is good.
that deals with sextortion and extortion in our constitution.
There is no proper cybercrime units in South Africa. And that's why we don't have statistics. We send out our projects to get statistics. We would like everybody to send an email to you and the SABC saying that I've been extorted or sextorted. Make sure sextortion is when something of your personal body, a private part or something that you have personally done sexually, is being used in order to extract money from you.
Yes.
Extortion is when you've been caught in any of these array of things that we have seen, and then money has been taken of you. In a way, a service has not been offered, like this guy, and they always come back for more, or they threaten to do this, that, and the other. Let me just say one more thing regarding the police. Policemen also get caught with these things, so it's not that they are that knowledgeable. Advocates, pastors, priests,
so nobody's
doctors,
immune.
People are so open for a relationship that they would take in anybody without checking it out. You must be critical today. The very guy next to you could be a criminal. You have to live this way, because you can, first of all, it's a no-no. You never take a naked photo of yourself, ever. Not even for your husband.
That's true.
I'm sorry, guys. Ladies that's married, I'm telling you, I'll tell you why. This can be hacked.
Crazy,
we haven't even spoken of hacking.
Yeah.
Your stuff can be hacked today. We have got so many, an increasing list of cases of people's stuff that we have to go to and clear their stuff. Your stuff can be hacked. Secondly, you can lose the phone.
That's true.
You can be in an accident,
in the wrong hands.
And you know what happened in that accident? Before they call the doctors and the lawyers and the insurance and the police, they first rob the place.
Yeah, no.
What's the first thing they take?
The cell phones.
Look at the Gavin Watson situation. There's an example. The scenes wherever you can have a house robbery, your stuff could be stolen. On this phone should only be your calls, and you should go today and go through your phone and take anything off that has a number pertaining your personal and very important information, like your bank codes, like your security codes, etc., and anything that has a photo or information pertaining your whereabouts.
So Mike, now tell me, does Lungelo have any recourse in this regard? He has to call you. Would you even be able to recover that money?
He can call me. I'll explain it to him properly. But the problem is, to try and solve all this cybercrime is literally it's not doable. And here's what most people would want. They would want this to be done cloak and dagger. They don't want anybody to know of it.
Yeah.
If a guy calls me and says he's dropped his pants, he's got a video of doing something, and this beautiful blonde has all his information, what is the first thing he asks me? Make sure that it doesn't get on the platforms or to my wife, and I don't want anybody to know. So that's why he doesn't go to the police.
Yeah.
Because now he goes to the police station and says, look at this. What do you think the police is going to do with those photos and videos? They're going to use it for themselves. Unfortunately, I'm bad-mouthing the police, but unfortunately that's what has happened. That's our experience. 20% of the police is good, but our country desperately needs very serious government, safety and security intervention in our banks, our cell phone companies, and in our police that can deal with cybercrime. It's the future. It's going to cripple this country if it hasn't already.
Mike, it's a pity because we did, Mbugeli, as I indicated when we started the show, we did invite the South African Police Service. So it makes this a very difficult conversation whereby we're getting one side of his story. Siyezo namalokhuza nama case studies wethu athi bayile police station bafike babahleka, and uyasho Mike ukuthi amaphoyisa akanayo naleyo capacity yokuthi akwazi ukusiza abantu, let alone umthetho obhekene nalento yokuthi mengifika ne-email ethi umuntu uthe imina lo sesithombeni, knowing very well ukuthi it's not me, or in kwamanye ama-case abanye abantu it is those people. So it gets very problematic. But let me quickly take Ivan all the way in Pretoria before Siya Kevin. But Ivan, thank you so much for staying on the line, Baba. Umbuzo noma umbono?
Hello, thank you very much. Good day. I appreciate the time. I have a question. Cybercrime in South Africa, how big and prevalent is it? And does Mike's organization have a specialized cybercrime unit? And how good would he rate that unit in South Africa? Thank you so much, Ivan. Thank you so much. Mbugeli, we're going to give Ivan that answer shortly after this break. Mbugeli, we're going to be deliberating more. We also want to unpack some of those Facebook messages in Islethele Zone. Kwamanje, asithishelele ngasayitona.
mbukeli, welcome back. Sisakhuluma nge-sextortion noma phela umuntu okusongelayo ukuthi phela mkhokhele imali ukuze angakhiphi iy'thombe zakho in compromising positions or videos mhlawumbe wena ububheke i-porn or wenzani. Ngihleli lana nobaba Mike Bolhayes, a specialist investigator, and he is taking us through some of these points. Ivan says, do you guys, how big is the cybercrime, how big is the cybercrime syndicate in this country, and does your unit have the facilities to deal with them, and how?
Pertaining South Africa and worldwide, I can emphatically state that cybercrime is the biggest crime in the world, most probably usurping about 12% of the world's economy, wow, of which 8% in the last statistics that we've gathered is on pornography.
Oh my goodness,
that's how much money goes of the world's money into this kind of crime, because you actually get nothing back for it, so it's all away.
My goodness. And does your agency, he was asking, like, do you guys have the capacity then? And like, I mean, let's talk about your success rate in terms of recovering monies and so forth, Mike.
There's no recovering of monies.
Never recovered.
First advice, as I've started, is once you're being extorted or sextorted, if you've started paying, stop immediately. Secondly, we will, in extreme cases, help people. They can contact us. They can, at the end of the show, maybe see on our platforms, on our
Facebook platform. Yes, they can see all your Facebook page.
They can read the projects. The projects, Knocks and Scams, and Sextortion explains exactly the crime, what to do and what not to do. And regarding our unit, it's a big unit. It's a strong unit.
And what do you do, Mike? What do you do if you come across an email? What's the first call of order? Do you contact the police? Do we contact you? Do I contact my spouse and tell them this is what's about to happen?
I mean, what do you do? I should be invited for another show, then we can deal with the solutions, because I cannot explain it in a line. It's a very serious process we follow in order to gain statistics and how to deal with these guys. I can just say this: we deal with them in either one or two ways: extremely violently, or in giving them their same medicine. I need to explain that properly at some stage, but presently, from the authority side, there's no solution.
Oh my goodness. Let's quickly take a look at some of those Facebook messages. Mike, the director, Facebook message. Now let's look at this. Mike, my studio guest. Maletso Feles Motlong says, I know a ward councillor who took a sex video of this young lady who's a little mentally disturbed. He kept the video to threaten the lady and making her do things she didn't want. I mean, really, he gave the lady a stand, and now that the lady didn't want to do what he wanted, he finally leaked the video. I am talking about a recent thing. We also saw this about the deputy minister as well, who got the Hawks involved. We won't mention any names, but this was a huge story in the news where he actually wanted to look like it was the other way, the woman that was demanding money for whatever, or to keep quiet about the relationship. Talk to us about this message, Mike.
Well, regarding this case, I have no qualms in saying we will deal with a guy like this extremely violently. If a guy does this, that is
despicable. This is a mentally ill lady. Why can't the police help here, Mike?
We get despicable cases. I have said before, unfortunately, and it breaks my heart to say, the police aren't willing and able. And those that aren't being assisted by the 80% that is corrupt, that cannot do the work, or is willing and able. So you don't have a safety and security infrastructure that protects and serves the public of South Africa. We are left to fend for ourselves. We are in survival mode. This kind of cases, we have several of those.
Mike, after this break, I want to talk about the fact that kuthiwa manje usungagwetshwa 2 years noma uhlawuliso 150,000 wamarandi uma wena ukhipha iy'thombe zabantu noma amavideo abantu be-nude. So I hope ukuthi lo ufelong lo kade sibhalele, you can see this, ubone ukuthi ungenza njani. Asithathe ikhefu lethu lokugcina-ke manje mbukeli. We're back and we're going to wrap up the show with some tips ukuthi wena ungenza njani uyithola kule simo. All right, Mbukeli, it is our final segment. Okusho ukuthi we are on a roll yokuthi siyavala laphana. Sithathe our final caller namhlanje uThembalethu from Cape Town. Thembalethu, sakamukela ohlelweni. Umbuzo noma umbono?
Hello, commenter.
Commenter that.
Yes.
Phangisa that.
Yeah, bengifuna ukuthi even xa usebenzisa ifone sensitive Bluetooth yonke uyakwazi ulanda ukutheka ifone ingene kwi-information yakhe yonke sensitive Bluetooth yakho plus neyakhe ifone. Bengifuna nje ukhomenta kulona.
Okay, Tata siyabonga kakhulu ke mbukeli. As you are hearing there, uTata uThemba lethu uthi it's very easy for people to just hack your phone. I mean, we've seen a lot of social media stories where abantu bathi no, but this is not my account. Ihackiwe account yami, umuntu ahacke account yakhe abhala izinto ayithandayo. So please, we are urging consumers, please use social media mangabu nayo, particularly a phone in where it's connected to your phone. Lapho ungazi ukuthi uzopress ama button wrong, uzothola information yakho. Closing remarks, Mike, very quickly. I mean, we've seen suicide rates go high on this, but talk to us about the psyche and, you know, what happens when a person goes through things like this and mentally?
Yeah, it's bad. Any person that is extorted or sextorted goes through an array of thoughts. What would his wife or his family or his people at work think? So you can think for yourself, the stress, the anxiety, it's enormous. But I want to rather quickly go to advice. Parents, make sure you check your kids' phones. Parents, yourselves, make sure you go to your service provider with your kids' phones, tablets, with all your paraphernalia and ask your service provider to put on proper firewalls and to see if there's any possibility of you to be hacked or to your information to be stolen.
That's really the only preventative measure here,
Also,
Mike.
as a family, go through your phone, take off anything that puts you in a compromising position or that has information of you that can be used by hackers or any criminal out there. Be aware, I'm saying to this to everybody out there now, this crime is never going to stop, it's going to grow. And it's growing exponentially and it's becoming, if not the worst crime in our country, definitely the biggest economic crime.
Mike, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon and all your invaluable knowledge. That is Mike Bolhayes, Mbugele specialist investigator. You can get in touch with him. We've had his numbers on Ilokuzani screen say to they've got a Facebook page. Please go and check we page labo itori abasebenza ngazo, but uyasho ukuthi uyanigqugquzela, use those phones like usebenzisa nje ngathi khona umuntu okubheke ehlombe, because that is where all this starts. Mbugele sifika kanjalo ke phethelweni lohlelo lethu lwanamhlanje. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope ukuthi we raise the relevant questions ukuthi nani ke enizosala niyibuza lapha ekhaya. Ukhumbule sina impinda futhi lolu hlelo njalo ngolesine right here on SABC 1 Mzansi for sure from 11 kuya ku12 ebusuku. Hopefully next time Bugeli will have amaphoyisa and other agencies and entities nabo bezokwazi ukuthi bakhulume basize ngoba uyasho uMike ukuthi cha le ndaba iqala lapha emthethweni. From me uAlisha Ntokazi yakajali Mbukeli ngithi nje nisale kahle.
Oh,